President Trump now well into his third year in office, and he's got a lot done. Booming economy, a lot of terrorists killed, illegal immigration down. So we decided there's no better time to grade his presidency so far than now. So here with us to do that, Ron Paul, former presidential candidate and host of the Ron Paul Liberty Report. Okay, Congressman, let's begin with immigration policy. What grade would you give the president there?
Depends on what day of the week it is. Yeah. It's up and down. He doesn't get an A+ from me. I don't like walls and fences and things like that. But actually, immigration is down. I don't know whether that's because of Trump or whether he has helped do that. So the illegal immigration is down. So I'd give him a low C. He doesn't get a high A, and I don't think he's completely failed. Because he does talk a little bit about my theory about what we do is if you don't subsidize something, it will help. And if you do subsidize something, you get more of it. I think the subsidies for illegally entering this country is the main motivating factor for us to have our problems.
So are you talking about benefits in terms of entitlements or in-state tuition, things like that, driver's licenses like they're doing here in New York?
Yeah, all that for a starter. But it's also a special way to become a citizen, easy road to citizenship, jumping in front of the line and getting free education. I mean, it makes no sense at all. All I can say is if most Americans were put in the same situation, they'd probably be praying or hoping they could, get some of that. But I just don't think it's the
low
right
C-
thing to do to take
is a
from
tough grade, Congressman. I mean, I would give him maybe a B+. But, we just have word right now that the Pentagon, here it is, just transferred close to $4 billion to fund the border wall construction. So I think it's moving in the right direction, but, we can disagree on that. Tell me about his economic policy. Where do you stand on that in terms of a grade?
Oh, partially I endorse, most conservatives, you don't even have to be a libertarian Austrian economist to say lowering taxes and lowering the regulations is a good idea. But no, he's a long way from what Austrian economics teaches, what free markets are all about. And that is, it deals with the monetary policy, it deals with the Federal Reserve. You want to have interest rates designed by the marketplace, not by putting pressure on the Federal Reserve and say, get those rates down. And on the short run, it's sort of like, if people need to get ahead and they can if they can hold somebody up, steal some money, and live beyond their means or borrow the money, from the Federal Reserve, you can have an appearance of pretty good prosperity, but it always ends. So the zero rate interest rates, it's the craziest thing ever. It's not going to work. The biggest problem with that overall is what a lot of people are admitting now. It creates a lot of debt.
Yeah.
It's huge. Just this week, what was it, $14 trillion per household, all household debt. This is unsustainable.
Yeah, but we've been saying that for, decades. The debt is out of control, and it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger, and neither party's going to do anything about that. Finally, so you never gave me a grade. What was the grade for economic policy? You got to admit, it's a jobs boom right now.
C minus for
you are a tough grader. C minus again? Wow. All right. Geez. I'd like to see your grades with Barack Obama.
If you care about the economy, you got to care about those people who in secret manipulate the interest rates and the money supply. Yeah. They're the bosses of this whole economy, and Trump knows it.
That's
a
longer discussion. Finally, foreign policy. I mean, I just have to step in. He's probably someone that's right up your alley. I mean, he's not starting a lot of new wars. He wants to get out of the Middle East. Clearly, you have to give him better than a C-, Congressman Paul.
Well, I think we're in the same category. Let me give that some thought. But no, if we go by what he says and what he said in the campaign, he deserves a B+. I'm coming home. I'm stopping these wars. But take Syria, for instance. He said that what we need to do is come home. He makes that announcement. The next day he sends more troops over there.
Wow. There's always the second term, and that's a guarantee.
Too much intervention for me.
All right. Well, I think any intervention's too much for you. But Congressman, wait, did I hear any final grade last on foreign policy?
On foreign policy, it's another C minus.
Okay.
Because
C minus is across the board.
What he says, though, I'd give him a B. But what happens is we're doing the same old things. We're intervening when we shouldn't be. We should be taking care of ourselves.
Thank you very much, Congressman.
Okay,
Excellent
Jesse.
job. All right.
Nice to talk to you.
Some crazy.